Hello, YouTubers. I want to welcome you to another edition of Park and Pin Gear. Okay. And here we are. I believe this is episode 15 of the small pedal board build. Okay. Now, I've been playing with the board. And man, I just love the sound of it. It basically does all the sounds I need, really. Almost. Now, as you know from past videos, and I hope you subscribe, because I often reference old videos that I've already done, and this is an easy way to find them. And in the last video, right, we actually heard the pedal board, heard what it sounds like with all the pedals. However, since then, when you know it, I've already have an essential pedal, and it's huge, that doesn't fit on the board. When you know it. And in fact, the pedals I have on the board are oddly placed because cables won't reach, or they're not right angles, so there's too much space between the pedals and those kinds of things. Okay? Now, the particular pedal I'm talking about is a pedal that is basically an extension pedal that you hook up to the Boss RC5, the little tiny looper. And the reason it's essential is this. With just the RC5 that has one pedal, right? You can press it down, that's it. It can do quite a few things. It can play and record and stop. If you hit it twice, it'll stop. Okay, what it will not do, though, is clear that particular memory location. Let's say I'm on memory location 5. Right, and I'm using this, I want to use it as a live looper, kind of like a boomerang. Right, in other words, I want to be able to record, play back, overdub on that recording, play that back. Right? And then stop and clear it so that then I can start a new loop on that same memory location. And this external pedal will let me, there'll be two switches, it'll let me undo and redo and clear functions, right, with the 2-foot switches. But as you see, it's quite large. So that just doesn't fit on the board. The pedal board is just too small. Now, there's a few things you could do. Okay, one is, well, just don't use that pedal. But that creates a real problem as far as clearing the memory location. Right? You just can't do it, really. At least I haven't found a way. Okay. Second, we could modify the pedal board to add another pedal. And that would be pretty creative, I guess, because you'd have to add either with wood or metal some extra space on the board, and you'd have to connect it to the board. That's another possibility. I may look into that, I don't know. Alright, third. Now here's an idea that holds promise. And that is, what I could do is to clear the memory and even do the undo and redo via MIDI, right? Because I have a MIDI controller with a, and it's a Soul Man, so it's got 4 switches, right, in banks. And each of the 4 switches can be basically a preset, or can send commands. Now, what I could do is have one of the banks of the 4 switches, and I could call it loop, right? And I mean, I'm switching around, different effects and things. But if I did the loop with MIDI, I could assign, right, functions to those 4 foot switches. In other words, undo, redo, stop, clear, whatever, That holds a lot of promise. Maybe that's the way to do it. And then that would avoid needing an external pedal at all, because instead it would be done via MIDI. So that's something I may try here. Okay? We'll see. Okay, now listen. I have to apologize. This next section, unfortunately, I left the fan on, so it affects the audio a little bit. So keep that in mind for just this section of the video. The audio does improve later on. Okay. So here's the little pedal board as it is right now. Soul Man MIDI controller. Foot switch external for the Soul Man MIDI controller to switch banks of 4. There's an up and a down. Okay, disaster area design smart clock syncs all the pedals together via beats per minute, and now we're at 120. Then way over here we've got the Boss SY200 synthesizer pedal. We're not going to be dealing with that too much. Then MIDI, line 6 M5, like a poor man's H9 kind of. Love that pedal. Next to it, of course, Eventide H9, the Boss RC5 looper pedal. Alright, now I want to show you something. And basically, with this pedal as it is, I can record and dub loops, right? Overdub. And I can stop. And I'm on memory 8. But if I hit the button again, I'm going to do that now, you'll be able to hear the loop. Okay, that stops it. However, because I use it for live looping, and I very much want it to be kind of like a boomerang, but smaller, which this does. However, if I want to start recording a new loop, right, well, I can't do it with the switches because it has to be cleared. This old loop has to be cleared away. And, well, the way it was going to be done was with an external foot pedal. Here's the external foot pedal, and it's darn huge, won't fit on the board. And if I take switch here, hit it, that would clear the old loop. and it's connected to the Boss RC5. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, so this one connected to that little Boss RC5 looper, but this doesn't fit on the board. There's just no way, right? However, I have discovered, what if we, because remember, the Boss RC5 is fully MIDI capable, right? And we already have MIDI connected to it. So, if we come over here, what if I used one bank, and that would give me 4 foot switches, right? That can be all assigned to the Boss RC5. And just as a test, okay, I tried this. Check this out. This is pretty cool. Alright, the Soul Man. I made a bank called Looper, right, as an RC5 looper. And see the first foot switch, I programmed it, right, and it says CLR, in other words, clear, right, which is what we were trying to do. And I don't know if you can see that, but there's the Soul Man editor, and if we go to, so foot switch name, I put CLR, right, switch action radio, default state off, message type continuous controller. So there you go, continuous controller, MIDI channel 4, okay, which is what I gave assigned the RC5 looper to MIDI channel 4. On data 0, 1, off data 0, off data 1. I put 80, and I assigned continuous controller 80 on the RC5 to clear the track. Okay? So now every time I hit that, it'll clear that track. And it can even do it while it's playing. So let's try that. Here you go. So there's the loop station. I'm going to play it. Then I'm going to hit the clear. Right, it says CLR, clear button, the first button on the Soul Man, and that should clear the data. So I can record another loop. Let's try it. So there, we've cleared it. And I can then record a new loop. And I hit record on the RC5 with the bass or the drum machine. Okay. And build a loop again. Okay. Add an overdub. Now I want to clear it. Stop it. And there it is. And you'll see that it's turned blue again, ready to record a new loop. So that will really work for me. I'll be able to clear loops and record a new loop right away just by using the Soulman. And on top of that, I won't have to hook up an external foot switch to it at all. I'll just use the Soulman. Okay, so from this point on, you won't hear the fan anymore. I turned it off. Okay, so we have successfully eliminated the need for this pedal, which, remember, was the extension pedal, right, that was hooked up to the little loop station RC5. And, you know, by itself, you can record, overdub, and stop, right? But what you cannot do, unfortunately, is to clear the track so that you can record a new track. And in fact, so you would need this pedal, or what we've done is eliminated the need for this pedal, which doesn't fit on the board anyway. So, I mean, I'm not even using this. Totally gone. Let's get rid of it here. And instead, I put it here on the Soulman MIDI controller, okay? Let's take a look at it. So there we go. I created a bank called Looper. And I can have up to 4 switches, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. And they can be assigned to do different things. So in this particular one, the CLR right there, the first one, is to clear the recording, the loop, basically that's on this RC5 loop station. And you'll see right there on number 8. Okay, in fact, I'll play that loop. Here we go. So there it's playing. Okay, and see, by hitting that button twice on the loop station, it'll stop the track, but it will not clear it. So it's still there, and in fact, I can restart it if I hit play again. It just plays back again. So there's no way to clear it by itself. And this is where, instead of the external foot switch, we're just going to use this Soulman. And it will clear it while it's playing. So it'll be ready for another loop. So here we go. Let's try that. Once again, I'll play this. And there we go. And take a look. The screen is ready for another recording, so I could basically, you know, hit record and just play something, you know. Okay, and let's clear that. Boom, and it's ready for another recording. So solved. That issue is solved. Okay, so again, no need for this external output switch. And as a bonus, we have all kinds of possibilities for these other foot switches. I mean, I could have one that's undo, redo, one that's reverse, and then we can also switch to different memories with different drum patterns and so on. And all that would be accomplished via MIDI rather than external foot switches. So that's a real bonus right there. That's great. And it's more what I had in mind that I was hoping for with the RC5. Basically, that I could just record a loop with overdubs, right? Stop it, and then record another loop live, right? And with this clear function on the Soulman allows me to do that. Okay, that's it for now. So, if you have some pedals that don't fit on your board, and they're just used to control functions of a MIDI pedal, right? Well, you could use your MIDI controller to get rid of those and just save yourself a lot of space. Okay, for example, this was just a foot switch to control functions on the Boss Loop Station RC5. That's no longer needed because now they're handled via MIDI, because the RC5 has full MIDI control that the Soulman Source Audio controller can handle. Alright, very good. See you next time. Okay, bye.